Welcome to day 25 of the 300 movie challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of June 1996, which was The Rock. Uh, which we finally figured out was called that because that's what they called Alcatraz. So that took
I
a while to figure out.
didn't. I couldn't remember that.
So, um, I guess, okay. This was directed by Michael Bay. So, that already gives you an idea of what to expect.
Yeah.
And this isn't a great film.
No.
I still liked it.
I knew it.
I like legitimate. It's not even like it's dumb, so it's funny. Like I legitimately thought it was like it is like so over the top funny, like stupid, that I liked it. But I don't like. There were a few things in it that I like actually thought were like kind of good. Like, the thing that like stood out to me was actually like when the general guy like actually like didn't. He was bluffing. Like I don't know
Oh
why.
yeah,
Like
as an antagonist, I like the general.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was interesting that actually he was bluffing and that like his his guys working under him like actually wanted to do it. I don't know. I kind of like that dynamic and I thought that was interesting. I mean, okay, and then like Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage, like they're dumb and entertaining. They're like entertainingly dumb, right? I don't know. I mean, like, because the thing is, for me anyway, I can't really point to anything where I'm like, that's bad. And then there is like the stuff that I do think is good, and then it's like, it's just ridiculously over the top as like a Michael Bay, action movie. But I've even, I've seen some of the Transformers movies, and I think this was way more interesting than those are. So, I don't know, like, and I don't know, like. So I like actually, I totally accept that it's like a stupid, like over the top, ridiculous action movie or whatever. But given that, I enjoyed it. It's not like Die Hard because it actually, the characters are legitimately really interesting, the plot's legitimately really, it's not like that, right? But it was ridiculous.
It's your standard dumb action.
Yeah, it was
movie.
ridiculous
Yeah.
enough to be fun for me, and the stuff that like wasn't good was just like okay. So like it doesn't like make you at least for me, make you dislike it. But I know Tara has a different opinion, and I have no idea what mine is. So I guess Tara,
I
you
guess
can go
like
first.
mine is just I'm pretty indifferent. Like I'm as neutral as one can be right now. It was like fine. Some parts I didn't
I
like,
think-
and some parts were okay. But otherwise, I just kind of get to a net balance of 0.
For me, I think the emotion that I felt the most was just boredom, in a sense, because there were. I guess in the beginning of the film, we discussed if it was actually that they were going to steal nukes again.
Oh yeah, it looked like they were doing the same thing as Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
Because also
Oh, wait.
once we found out that it was an action movie by Michael Bay, I'm like, wait, is this going to be like Broken Arrow? And then they're like stealing missiles in the beginning, like, oh my god, it is Broken Arrow. But no, not quite. But
I will admit it is better than at least Broken Arrow in the sense that the characters and the effects and whatnot.
yeah.
At least the characters are people.
Yeah. But for me, I honestly just felt really bored throughout the movie with all the action scenes and everything. Because for me, there was nothing compelling.
I could see
Which-
that.
Yeah.
Because like it also like there's like you kind of it gets like it's so much that like it's not special anymore.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah,
I've heard like a criticism with like Michael Bay, like he adds explosions to everything, so therefore like explosions are not interesting after anymore because they're like
Yeah.
everywhere. And so like I get that. I don't know. I just didn't personally feel that way. So, but I totally
I
understand.
liked
it,
watching
so.
Sean Connery.
Yeah,
That was the main payoff for me, watching Sean Connery doing stuff.
and Nicolas Cage just being weird. He wasn't.
Nicolas
He
Cage.
wasn't that weird. Like, there's definitely been much weirder films, but like, he was still entertaining enough.
Yeah.
But actually, okay. So I have to mention this. I just have to look on Wikipedia just because I was curious looking at the cast list, and I see at the very bottom that originally the character that Nicolas Cage played was originally going to be played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
I wonder what kind of movie that would have
Yeah,
been.
yeah,
how-
because I feel like how they wrote the character and like what he did, I felt like Nicolas Cage actually kind of fit the character decently well.
Yeah, because
So-
he's like awkward.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm like kind of wondering like how Arnold would have even worked in that role. So I don't know.
biomedical engineer.
my God.
You have a very terrible Arnold impression.
I can't do an Arnold impression, okay?
But-
Now the internet knows.
I guess another random thing is that I feel like a lot of the suspense in the movie was like there was too much suspense and there wasn't really any downtime really. So even during the suspenseful moments, they didn't really. You didn't really feel the suspense for it.
Well, yeah,
It's
because
the
that's
reverse of Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
well, it's kind of the fatigue thing, right?
Yeah.
Your muscles are like start getting tense so often that you don't even realize they're tense anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I completely understand, and I kind of am one of those people where like I'll see a dumb action movie that like doesn't really have any substance, which like is basically what this is. And like as long as the characters and the plot don't like piss me off, like I'll still come out of it thinking like, sure, that was fine. And that's kind of how I think of this movie. And it has but other people like, that's not enough. Like that's totally fine. So but that's the point, we have a variety of opinions, and then you could use what we say to decide if this is the right movie for you. So,
It's not going to be like a news channel. We're all going to start arguing.
Either arguing or like becoming yes men.
God.
It's kind of funny that, like, at least for a couple of these recent movies, that I have become the one who's been, like, more lenient toward them.
Oh
And, like,
yeah.
Tara's
actually.
the one who's like,
Actually.
no. Like, I don't know, I'd think it would be the opposite. I feel like I'd be the hard ass who'd hate everything, but no. I guess when it comes to action movies, no. When it comes to romance films, then I'm gonna hate everything, but
Yeah, that's true. We're opposites.
we're so stereotypical.
Do I just like stay in the middle or something
I think so
until
far.
something sets me off?
I don't think there's been anything that like you have disliked or liked like noticeably more than either of us.
Noticeably more.
Maybe while you were sleeping, but Tara, I feel like you and Tara like that decent enough, so I don't know.
Yeah. I think for me with romance, it's more so that I'm comparing it to like Bollywood films.
So you have you have a low bar.
Yeah, I have a pretty low bar.
Yeah, see the problem
As
is
long as the two people like they work, I'm okay with it.
yeah, I feel like I have a pretty high bar because I compare it to like how I am in my relationship and like I
Which
don't know.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Too.
Which in a sense is kind of a problem because now I'm like super critical about like every single fictional relationship I ever see, and it's
Oh my god.
But okay, that is one thing actually in this movie that I can point out as being dumb. Like the girlfriend is like not a
No.
good character.
No.
She wasn't really needed.
No,
At
all.
the whole like plot with like, oh, I'm pregnant now, so therefore you have an extra reason to like care is like, and also the fact that like, he works for the FBI. Like the fact that he has to get called away for something immediately shouldn't be that surprising.
She's so
Yeah.
obnoxious.
So yeah,
Yeah.
she thankfully though she's really not in it like that much at all. So it's like,
It's not like in Twister.
no, oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, so
Oh my god.
I did think it was kind of neat, like, that they did, like, it was based, it's based on Alcatraz, so they show, like, San Francisco and those kind of areas, and, like, I live right around there, and, it's just kind of funny, like, it's clear that they filmed this, like, on location, not just Alcatraz, but, like, there's, like, a car chase through SF and, like, other stuff. So it's just kind of just like a cable car explodes. I was like, oh, and like when they did end up launching a missile, and it's like they said, oh, it's going like southeast. I'm like, wait, but that's not towards San Francisco. That's towards Oakland. And they're like, yeah, it's going toward Oakland. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. At least I got that right. And I saw that they were. I'm looking at the map, like, because they show like a map of like where the like a kind of computer, old 90s computer map of like where the missile's going, and I'm like, wait, that's going to Oakland Coliseum, and then they show Oakland Coliseum, so it was like, oh, okay.
Oh wow.
So it was just kind of interesting. The one thing that was stupid though is that they show like jets flying under the Golden Gate Bridge to get to Alcatraz. The only like they would the Golden Gate like separates the bay from the ocean, and Alcatraz is in the bay, so basically like they'd be coming from the ocean, so it's like that doesn't make any sense. And like the only thing I could that like why they would be coming from the Pacific Ocean, because I'm thinking like okay, the only thing I can think of is that like there is like some military stuff like north of the Golden Gate Bridge, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like that's just I don't know. And they also said like 17 minutes like to get there, right? While
Yeah.
flying, and I feel like that would take longer. Like no, it would take it would take less time if they were where I think they are. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But
thing that I can think of is if they took off from an aircraft carrier. But the
they
thing with
didn't
that
though.
is that there would be no way, well, actually, they just destroyed the place. They didn't really do the chemical thing. But then, I feel like it would still take a little bit longer than 17 minutes to get
Yeah, I don't
Alcatraz, because usually the aircraft carriers are out at sea.
quite
like,
a ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like it's really not important, but like, but and then, they did it for the iconic shot where we get the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. Okay, whatever.
Just to remind you again that you're in San Francisco.
Yeah, I feel like
Just
okay, but after the Statue of Liberty, like the Golden Gate Bridge is like the second most like destroyed monument in like any sort
Oh,
of
yeah.
disaster film.
That is true.
So I'm just
Very
kind
sad.
at this point I've kind of like seen so many films where it's like, ooh, look, the Golden Gate. It's like, yeah, I know. Like I also like see it all the time. So like it's not that big of a deal. But like
That's it, actually. You bring up a good point. I think the two locations we've seen the most of all the movies so far are the Golden, like San Francisco and New York.
well, I mean that's usually what it is. Like it's New York.
It usually is.
It's like
yeah.
in the East Coast, it's New York or maybe DC, right?
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
West Coast, it's like LA or San Francisco.
It's
yeah.
approximately where all three of us live,
Well, yeah, it's
Yes.
which is
in
funny.
the areas roughly, yeah.
Approximately.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Then again, like okay, like what films have had San Francisco in them? There was this one.
Interview with the Vampire.
Right. Oh yeah, that was in San Francisco, which ends on them driving on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh yeah.
There was another one.
Well, there was the
Oh.
thing we saw beforehand that
Oh yeah.
So
Right.
Oh yeah. One of our beta tests.
yeah,
Yeah, right. That's true. That's probably the other one I was thinking.
yeah. I feel like there was something else. I don't know. But then,
Oh wait, no. Wasn't there also Outbreak? Did that mention San Francisco?
It was
it was
somewhere
No,
it was near.
nearby?
It was north of like a bit north of there.
It was nearby-ish.
Yeah, I mean like people call like San Francisco Bay Area like Northern California, but if you like actually look at a map of California, it's like 60% of the way north. Like it's not that far north. And so like the Outbreak area, I actually looked it up on Google Maps or whatever. It's like 70% up or so. So it's like take a few hours to drive there, but
Right, because California is like gigantic.
yeah. I think I actually looked on Google Maps and like doing from like city like the northernmost city to the southernmost city is like an 11-hour drive or something.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's pretty long. So but anyway, why are we talking about this?
Filler.
Yay, filler. I don't know. So I think for a dumb action movie, it was pretty enjoyable. Tara just thought it was a dumb action movie. Emphasis on dumb.
Because for me, it was better than Broken Arrow.
Yeah. Broken Arrow had like things that were legitimately like, this is stupid for me.
Yeah.
Some of it was like stupid that I could like forgive for being like, entertainingly dumb, but it was still pretty stupid. I didn't feel this was as stupid, but it was definitely
Yeah, this one wasn't as stupid, yeah.
Yeah, it was meh.
So there's your mix of opinions. Basically, just how much do you like random violence in a movie? That said, though, as like an R-rated action movie, it wasn't really like that, like
Oh, was it R-rated?
yeah, it was R-rated, but it wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't like that like ultra violent, right?
No.
Yeah.
Like
wasn't
given
ultra
given the setup and what was going on, it was basically like it didn't do more. Than
It was, like,
needed
just-
to,
The
really.
only parts that I had to cover my eyes for were the chemical weapon thing.
Oh, yeah,
but
at the very
otherwise
beginning.
it was.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Right.
The rest of it was okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
rest
it's, there's gun
fine.
stuff and there's, like, people get shot and there's, like, blood on them. Like, okay, basically, like, a realistic scenario, if anything. So, well, okay, realistic in a Michael Bay action film, but, there's, like, a minecart thing for some reason. That made no sense.
Wait, Alcatraz doesn't have a mine shaft.
I
does
don't
it?
think so,
No.
no.
No,
Okay.
I looked it up. Remember?
Right. Okay,
Right.
that would not make any sense. if
Yeah,
it did.
that doesn't make
No.
any sense. Yeah, and so, like, that was ridiculous. Just all the explosions. It was great. So there you go. If your reaction to all the explosions is "oh cool," then watch this movie. If it's explosions, then don't watch the movie. There you go.
Basically, if you're like me,
Yeah.
then you're probably gonna have my reaction, and if you're like Val, you'll probably have his reaction, and then
If you're neutral, I don't think you should bother anyway.
Yeah, it's really just if you want to see a dumb action movie, this is a fine choice, basically.
it's better than Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, if you want to see an action movie, just watch Die Hard. So
Yeah, just go with Die Hard. Just go with Die Hard. With
I'm
Vengeance,
still
'cause
waiting
We
for
haven't
the-
seen the other two.
I'm still waiting for the film that will be better than it, and I'm wondering what it will be.
Maybe
Who
never.
knows?
I don't
It
know.
Well,
probably
there
won't.
is-
It probably won't be the next movie.
No.
Oh yeah, this is the one movie that I've seen. You guys haven't actually seen, but in which it takes with it has something that is one of Mayan's favorite things.
I'll talk about my weird childhood trauma with that in the next one.
Oh boy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I will say that I was actually surprised by the film.
What,
it didn't-
This one or the next one?
The next one,
Okay.
yes. I was actually surprised by the film. I won't say if it was a good surprise or a bad surprise, but I'll say that I was surprised by the film.
Okay.
Nee.
Well, we'll get to that, and there will actually be something a little bit different next time as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't freak out. Don't freak out too much, as if like what happened. But
One of us is getting kicked off.
But anyway.
It's because I didn't like the dumb action movies. So I'm
We're
kicked off
voting you
the
to
island.
go to Alcatraz.
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
my-
All right. Let's end this.
Bye.
See you next time
Bye.
for an event.
Yes.
Bye.
Good luck editing this.
Thank you. Bye.